Oh, vexillology. That's the study of flags. And I am nowhere near being an expert in the field, but I do like flags. So let's talk about them. So what's a flag? Well, today we're going to talk about national flags, so I'm just going to keep it at that. But it's a piece of graphical design that can both represent and distinguish a country from another. So in the past, these flags were mainly used to be flown in the air and indicate to other countries and other people, hey, this is our country. Today, these distinctions aren't as important, but they still hold a very present national pride. And, more importantly, it's the occasion to make some pretty graphic art design. And I like flags. I like looking at them, I like quizzing myself on them because I'm a huge fucking nerd. And yeah, I like talking about them. So there are mainly two things I look at when I look at a flag. One is just aesthetic beauty, and the other is symbolism. Aesthetic beauty is pretty simple. When I look at your flag, do I think it's pretty? Does it have pretty colors, pretty symbols, pretty shapes, pretty ratios? Yeah, because different flags have different ratios to them. And then there's symbolism. What do those colors and shapes and symbols actually represent? Is it the blood of the people, peace, the richness, the blue sky? It's what represents the people in the country. Or what makes the country that country? What makes it distinct? You really have to have very good balance in terms of beauty and in terms of symbolism. I think if you try to put too many distinct properties and too many distinct symbols into your flag, you're gonna end up with a mess of different representations, which altogether had the goal to be distinct and now are just mush. There are countless flags who just have very simple designs, but we can still associate with one country. That's because you put just a minimal amount of symbolism in a very beautiful artwork. Alright, but now what are some examples of things I like in flags? Well, one of the first things I look at is the complexity, or more importantly, the balance of complexity, if I can say. If you have complex colors, let's say you have many different colors in different areas, keep your symbols either simple or non-existent. On the other hand, if you have complex symbols or like very big symbols, keep your colors simple. Take the flag of Wales, for example. Wales has a big ass red dragon in the middle. But what do they do with the rest? Very simple, two colors in the background, nothing else. Same thing with Albania, for example. They have one big double-headed eagle in black in the middle, one simple red aggressive color in the background, and I think that's just beautiful. But this, that's too much. Another thing I particularly like in flags is when you have symbols, keep them simple. Something like the plus in the Switzerland flag, that's very nice. The maple leaf in the Canadian flag, I might be biased, but I think that's very nice. Even the lion type thing in the Sri Lankan flag, I'm not exactly sure what it is, I should have done more research, but that's pretty simple and it's still very nice. Of course, there's a limit to simpleness. I'm looking at you, Japan, but we'll come back to that later. Speaking of symbols, I'm fucking tired of stars. Everybody started doing it when the US was doing it and they thought it was cool. Probably some other countries did it before the US, I don't care. All of them are boring. Stars. Stop with the stars. I'm tired. The stars are making me sick. When I'm trying to remember all 197 flags of the world, and I'm stuck with these shits that all look the same, what am I supposed to do? The point of a flag is to be distinct and to be remembered. To say, okay, I look at this, I know that's Brazil. Only Brazil has that kind of symbols and that kind of colors, that's Brazil. When I look at these, the flags are all the fucking same. How can I remember which one's which? Fuck. So yeah, if you wanna be a good flag, in my eyes, be different. Be nice. Look at Armenia. They have a tricolor flag, which is way overdone. Too many European countries do it. But hey, they have different colors. I can look at that and say very easily that's Armenia. Thank you, Armenia. And finally, the last little point I'll add is ditch the UK. I know the Union Jack is a very, very nice flag. It's in the top, I think it's in my top 20s list. It's very, very nice. But holy shit does it look ugly in the upper left corner of any little island nation flags. I'm gonna call Australia a little island nation flag. I don't care. Get rid of it. Ditch the UK. Bye. Alright, well, I talked about some stuff I like in flags. Why don't I give my favorites and my least favorites? I think that'd be fun. So I'll start with the 5 that I like the least. Because I prefer ending with a positive. I think that's nice. We'll start with Fiji. So, Fiji. First of all, you have that Union Jack in the corner. I already said I don't like that. So, there's that. Then we have the bright blue color, which is terrible when you're flying a flag in the sky because you're never going to see it. And then you have a complicated symbol on top of something that already has complex colors because of the Union Jack in the corner. All in all, Fiji, not good. Then you have the exact opposite, where Fiji was way too complex and bombastic in its colors. Now you have Japan. I think this is a very controversial opinion, but I hate the flag of Japan because it is way too simple. Just a white sheet with a red dot in the middle? Come on. Come on, you can do better than that. Come on. Next up is the African nation of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The DRC suffers from the same problem that Fiji does, where they have a light blue background. The rest of the flag is not that bad, although the ratio I think is a little weird, looks a little bit too square in my opinion. The diagonals, okay, but man, just that blue ruins everything. It's terrible. And then we have Cape Verde. So Cape Verde is a little bit strange. Looks slightly like the European Union flag, which I think is very, very nice. It would work, except for one little detail. If you look at the white bands, there's a star in there. Yellow contrasts terribly with that white. So it looks like the continuity of that yellow star circle gets cut at those white lines. And I don't know. To me, that looks terrible. And finally, Mali. Need I say more? Alright, enough of me shitting on flags, let's praise some. And I'm gonna skip all the very known ones. So you're not gonna see any UKs or Canadas or France or any of the very known ones. Also because most of them aren't really original and we can just gloss over them. So let's pick some fun ones. Alright, starting with Barbados. You have some blue, but it's not light blue, so that's nice. The blue and yellow reminds me of like a royal kind of vibe. I think that's really cool choice of colors. And that symbol in the middle, that trident. Oh, it's simple, it's nice, it's slick, it could work as a logo for a company. And I would buy whatever services they have in a heartbeat. Barbados, very nice. Antigua and Barbuda, a little bit complex on the colors, but you can see like the red slopes make for some sort of mountain range that lead to a beach and the sunset. With that sunset is just simple, simplistic, minimalist. And although you have a lot of complex shapes, you don't have a lot of complex symbols, and you have a nice arrangement of colors that remind of a sunset and just brings calm whenever I look at that flag. Antigua and Barbuda, also very nice. Okay, let's go east. Papua New Guinea. Look at this. A nice diagonal, always a little bit original when you do that. There are the stars, yeah, that could be changed, but whatever. You have that beautiful, beautiful bird, which is a little complex, but since you don't have too much complexity in the colors, I think it complements it very well, and it's golden, a golden bird. Who doesn't like that? So because of the originality and also the distinctiveness, you'll never see that bird anywhere else on any other flag. So you know when you see this, it's Papua New Guinea. 10 out of 10. Alright, and for the top 2, I guess? I didn't set an order to this, but let's say the top 2. We have 2 African countries. I gave a lot of shit to other African countries because of their color scheme that is very similar. Here are 2 countries that kind of break that. First, we have South Africa. Look at this. South Africa? Okay, I said I didn't like it when there were too many colors, but here is an exception that confirms the rule. So no symbols, it's just shapes and colors. So because you have no complex symbols, I think you're allowed to go very complex on the colors, and South Africa just does it perfectly. There's a beautiful mismatch of very different colors, but they're all put in a very symmetrical and very conform way, and it just brings out a huge diversity of the country that is South Africa. Well done, very colorful, I like it. And finally, for my favorite flag out there, we have Kenya. Now, you might be surprised because Kenya has the same colors as a lot of other Middle Eastern countries, but what differentiates it is 2 things. The first, those white stripes brings a little separation between the tricolor, which makes it less like the Netherlands in terms and shape and more like Gambia, which is a nice, very nice change of pace. And finally, it has perhaps the best symbol out of all countries that I've listed so far. It's a Maasai shield in the middle with 2 spears representing the native people. It's a beautiful symbol, it's simple enough that any kid could redraw this, and it shows a nice pride in the people that live there. So yeah, that's flags. Okay, bye!